This is a CBC podcast.
Since September the 7th, more than 94 schools and 47 daycares and preschools have had confirmed cases of COVID-19. This week, schools in New Brunswick launched a rapid testing program. Unvaccinated students who are close contacts of a confirmed COVID case can now return to school after 2 negative rapid tests, provided they don't have any symptoms. It will help students avoid isolating at home for up to 2 weeks. But the same program does not apply to daycares and preschools. To find out more about what's happening in early learning centres, we have reached Alison Butcher. She is the director of Sackville Play School Inc. Good morning.
Good morning.
So what is happening at your play school as far as rapid tests go?
Well, we have rapid tests that we access through the Moncton Chamber of Commerce, so they were not supplied to us through Anglophone East or through the Department of Education. We got those back just before we opened, the beginning of September. We don't use them on our children, though. We use them on our staff. We use them if we have any volunteers coming into the classroom, which we don't during circuit breaker, but we often would. So we do testing on our staff at least twice a week, and every time that an adult is coming into the classroom, they do, like a volunteer, they do a rapid test first.
Okay, and have you had any COVID cases at the play school, Alison?
No.
Okay, well, that's good.
So far.
Yeah. Got to be pretty nerve-wracking, though.
It is. It's a large emotional load to carry. It's kind of surprising how it affects your mental health, just carrying that load. Yeah. Absolutely.
And of course, you don't want to be passing that on to the younger kids.
No, I don't want to be passing anything on, which is why, I mean, we are all, our preschool is in a high school, so we have been required to be fully vaccinated, and anyone who comes into the school has to be fully vaccinated. But it's still a pressure and a concern, because we know that people who are vaccinated, although there's less chance of them contracting COVID and there's less chance of them being contagious, but it still can happen. And I don't want to be the reason there's an outbreak in an early learning center.
Mm-hmm. And there have been quite a few cases at other schools in Sackville, including Tantramar, where you're located. So when there are confirmed cases, how does that affect your operation?
Well, the way that we have been operating is with the understanding that we are in the building. We are part of the Tantramar community. So when they do an operational day, my understanding of that term is that is particularly used for contact tracing. So when there's an operational day, our preschool is closed as well to allow contact tracing to occur. But then if it's decided that the Tantramar community goes to distance learning, then we are allowed to be back in the building, because at that point the contact tracing has finished. So Play School has actually had 4 days where we were closed so far this school year, and Tantramar has had, I think, 5.
Okay, so it really can change day to day.
Yes, and we're still sort of, there's always interpretations of rules and regulations, so we think that we are doing it the way that we are supposed to. Again, abundance of caution. We just want to make sure that our unvaccinated people, our citizens, our little kids are as safe as they can be.
So the rapid testing that's available to schools for unvaccinated students, do you think the province should be offering them to preschools like yours?
That's a tricky one. I know that I would not want to be doing these rapid tests on preschoolers. They're not as invasive as the PCR tests, but they still involve sticking a pointy object up your nose. I would never suggest that I should be providing rapid tests to someone else's children. And I'm also not sure about giving them out to parents to do on their small children. Maybe that's something that should be left up to a professional. I'm not sure. They're certainly very easy to use. But yeah, I'm not sure I'd want to use it on a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old.
Yeah. What kind of questions and comments are you hearing from parents around this?
Well, I know that our parents are really pleased that we have the rapid tests. When I got them back at the beginning of September, we for our volunteers in the classroom, we said they needed to be double vaccinated, they needed to be masked the whole time, and we were going to do this rapid test first. And I thought, wow, this is, a little bit of overkill, but, we'll do it, peace of mind. And then Sackville turned into a hot spot, and I have been so incredibly thankful that we have them, and I think that parents are feeling the same way. There's that peace of mind of knowing that each day we know that the adults in the room don't have COVID. Asymptomatic people can be passing it on to unvaccinated children, and that's not something we want happening in our center.
So rapid testing aside, Alison, generally, how has the year been going?
People comment about how difficult it is for the children, all the poor dears they have to mask, or the poor things they don't get to. But these children, these 3 and 4-year-olds, this is their life. It's been almost 2 years now. They don't remember any different. They pop their mask on. They're as apt to enter the classroom with a mask on and forget to take it off. They're resilient. They are going and doing and loving and enjoying their life just like children 5 years ago did. I mentioned the strain that I feel at times, but I don't think the children are feeling that. I think we might be getting it right for them. They seem to be still living their best lives.
Oh, that's so touching to hear that. Oh, and you do wear 2 hats. I mean, we're talking to you as director of Sackville Play School, but you're also a town councillor in Sackville. And I'm wondering, since the last half hour we were talking about the outbreak at the Drew, if what the discussion is around that on town council.
Well, we've had lots of conversations at town council around healthcare in general. As you know, there's a lot more concerns within our community in regards to our hospital and things like that. We have mentioned the Drew and have put out our support for the people there. I talk about the strain I feel looking after these little children who are all healthy. I can't imagine the strain that the people who work at the Drew are feeling as they try to provide care and support for the residents who are ill. There's been so many deaths there. It is terrifying, really. And as a counselor, as a community member, I'm just want to make sure that they know how thankful we are for what they're doing and how they're getting up and going there every day, when I'm sure they would really like to just act like it's not happening, although they don't. They just keep going and providing the care that's needed.
And I'm sure everybody in the community is feeling it in some way.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. Well, best of luck with everything, Alison, and thanks for taking our call this morning.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
For more CBC podcasts, go to cbc.ca/podcasts.